a lot of speed.
He warming up
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Jaden on Love on my mama. I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass on my mama. And he laughing. He laughing.
Our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
You know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you got to know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You got to understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like we all don't do that.
Gervonta Davis reacted angrily to Jake Paul sparring with Shakur Stevenson ahead of their upcoming fight. He stated that Jake can train with anyone he wants, but it won't make a difference in the ring. Tank insisted that he would showcase his true power on fight night and beat Jake up, stressing that no amount of sparring or warm-up will matter once they face each other.
Now, don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him. Bet.
And it begs the question, Tank.
Nothing.
Boxing analysts have noted the irony in the criticism surrounding the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis matchup. While many fans and commentators argue that Tank's choice disappoints boxing purists, others see it as a smart business move that benefits certain individuals in the sport. Shakur Stevenson himself highlighted this duality, saying that although Tank's decision may frustrate traditional boxing fans, he is still willing to spar with Jake Paul to support the sport and keep himself part of the conversation. This dynamic underscores the complex interplay between business interests, personal reputation, and fan expectations in modern boxing.
Criticism for fighting Jake Paul, but yet at the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So, do I think that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter, that this is a sideshow, freak show fight, but yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight. And then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake Paul.
Analysts have pointed out that Gervonta Davis appears to be primarily motivated by financial gain when it comes to his upcoming fights. The matchup with Jake Paul, in particular, has stirred debate because many believe Tank is prioritizing money over legacy or boxing prestige. Observers argue that if fans want to see him face elite competitors like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach, his promoter, Turk, would need to offer him a lucrative deal similar to the type of purse seen in blockbuster bouts such as Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. At this stage in his career, money seems to be Tank's main driver, influencing his choices more than competitive glory.
Started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another $40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Roach for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo money, man.
Shakur Stevenson, a highly respected figure in boxing, expressed clear disappointment after Tank chose to fight Jake Paul instead of facing him. He said that Tank avoiding a fight with him is viewed as a ducking tactic, which many consider disrespectful to the sport. Shakur emphasized that true fighters face challenges head-on, and by choosing a crossover opponent over an elite professional like himself, Tank is undermining the integrity of boxing. His statement has added fuel to the ongoing debate about Tank's priorities and the influence of financial incentives over sporting.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if you want to call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left, so he better be on his A game.
Gervonta Davis responded angrily to fan questions about accusations that he is dodging top fighters like Shakur Stevenson. He made it clear that he does not care about public opinion, emphasizing that fans often change their loyalties after a single disappointing performance. Tank stressed that his focus remains on his own career and personal goals rather than on satisfying every critic or fan. This response reflects his unapologetic approach to handling pressure and criticism while maintaining control over his own fight trajectory.
A lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Roach rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Michael J. White weighed in on the ongoing debate, stating that Jake Paul, regardless of his hype or performance, can never be considered a legitimate boxing champion. White emphasized the distinction between exhibition or crossover fights and official championship contests sanctioned by major boxing authorities. His commentary reflects the broader sentiment among professional fighters and enthusiasts who view Paul's ventures as entertainment rather than a true test of championship-level skill, reinforcing skepticism about the legitimacy of the fight.
Do you think that Jake Paul could win a legitimate boxing title?
No, no, because he's so far behind someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time. He started very late. That's why I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. If he fought a legitimate, top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the up. If he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10, that would be astonishing if he can get to that point. If he beat anybody in the top 10, that would be, to me, the greatest thing he's ever accomplished.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
I think he's done it the right way because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva might be able to beat him. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson? I really thought, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body because I thought that that's what would win him the thing, but he did not do that. I think it makes for a good matchup. He's made for great spectacle.
Daniel Cormier, former champion and respected analyst, criticized the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis matchup, describing it as unexciting and lacking entertainment value. Cormier argued that Tank does not fight out of financial necessity and that this particular matchup does not reflect the level of competition expected at his stage of career. By calling it a boring contest, Cormier questioned the purpose and appeal of the fight, suggesting it serves more to spark curiosity and draw social media attention than to advance boxing's competitive standards.
I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him. Yes. He recognizes that he's too big for him.
I'm wondering how this even came about. It can't be that Gervonta Davis needs money. That can't be the reason why
he's been a world champion so recently. How could he be broke?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he doing this for money? And then why and how is even Jake Paul doing this when no one respects it? Like, I can't think of anybody that respects this.
But Jake Paul has been able to carve out and make his own lane in boxing, and I've never seen anything like it, bro. He literally, we don't know what weight class he fights in any situation. We just don't know. He kind of makes his own rules.
He makes his own rules.
And it seems like people are playing by those rules. I remember a couple weeks ago, the WBC and the Jose Sulaiman was very upset that he wasn't going to be able to put the belt on the winner at Canelo versus Crawford. That's the thing that's happened since the beginning of the time. Those guys are very powerful in boxing. But with Zuffa boxing, it was almost like that power was getting stripped away. They were very disappointed. But how can you take those sanctioning organizations seriously when they are sanctioning this?
That's my point. That's why I think that this whole thing that we have, this boxing and this MMA argument and Zuffa getting into boxing, our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I talked about this before. Like, I didn't know why they were fighting because, I mean, Gervonta Davis's last fight was at 136 pounds.
Commentator Showbiz the Adult acknowledged that despite the unconventional nature of the fight, public curiosity will likely ensure massive viewership. Tank's recent comments about potentially walking away from boxing have created doubts and speculation among fans about whether the fight will actually happen. The ongoing tension between Tank and Shakur Stevenson on social media platforms like X has amplified these doubts, as both fighters trade sharp words questioning each other's abilities. This drama adds an extra layer of unpredictability to the sport, blending entertainment with competitive anticipation.